that
I'm sort of a believer in that.
people with like people that are melanin skin are like actually native to North America. You know, it wasn't just like indigenous, Indian people, whatever you want,
Right.
TP, Pocahontas type stuff.
Pocahontas, the way they showed her as a light skinned Indian, the original Indians were all
Hmm.
black,
Yeah,
and as
and I
they
think,
got
and you know
raped
what's
and
crazy?
mixed,
Yeah,
the skin tone changed.
yeah, like they oh yeah, okay. Those people were pretty gnarly, right? Like I guess they fought and like yeah, pilgrims or
Yeah.
then the white man came over. Who knows what really happened? And like are you familiar with the Book of Enoch,
Enemy
with the
target
Yeah, I
guy
don't
who never
believe in it.
died
Try
and
harder
he
next
was
time.
like, and the Nephilim, he was like rebuking the Nephilim, and you don't believe in the Book of Enoch?
Nah.
That's probably
Um,
why it's not in. I mean, that's what it's. I guess it's arguable because it's not in your text, right?
no,
You
it
got
was.
your doctrine that you guys read because yours
There's
is your guys' doctrine's similar to the King James version, but there's you guys use different word for, you don't like calling Jesus Christ, and you don't want to be associated with the white Jesus and
right.
whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, Jesus Christ wasn't
You
white.
call him
Neither was
yeah,
God. God I call
yeah. You know what's
Yahweh,
crazy?
and Jesus Christ we call Yahweh Shai.
And then you don't believe that they yeah, and you don't believe that the son of you guys think that he failed to reunite the 12 tribes in a way, right? And that
Oh,
he's coming back
Jesus Christ?
to
Yes.
do that.
Matthew
Yeah, or
15
to
24. That's what
whatever
that
you're
is all
the
about.
Messiah.
Yeah, Matthew
No,
15
no. What?
24. That's what that's about. Him bringing back the northern tribes because we were cast
Yeah,
out
that are
since the book
scattered.
of.
Ring safe's been
Right.
opened. Move to secure the goods. Cradle bombs
We were
inbound.
cast out
Expect
since
the enemy to bring
the,
the rain.
I think it's Second Kings.
All CXD ready.
Mhm.
So that's, then we haven't been in that land since then.
Detonated cradle bombs in the AO. Watch for chemical
And
I
contamination.
19.
could get down with yeah.
Right,
Go
good,
ahead,
good.
Steve.
I like listening.
No, because I could get down with the fact as a white guy that was raised Catholic and being a reborn Christian now that God definitely or Jesus Christ definitely probably wasn't definitely wasn't a Caucasian man.
Well, if you,
So like
yeah,
when they
one
call you guys, like I see Hebrew Israelites will call him Caesar Bordega or like
Caesar Borgia,
Intel is tracking a guild
yeah,
surveillance drone
whatever,
in your
like or like
AO.
the son of
Eliminate it.
the artist or
the
something,
Pope.
or like the
Yeah, the
brother of
Pope.
yeah, no, the one guy who did the painting, like a
Objective
painter,
complete.
whatever. So I can get down with the fact that I could agree with the fact that Israelites were probably
USB in hand.
like
Use the data to
like
access the safe.
African, melanin,
Right.
or like black people,
And I'm glad that
or even like you
people
could have
could see it. I'm glad because
sure.
surprisingly, a lot of people on my job they know who I am and what I'm saying. I go to work with my fringes on and everything, and they
Yeah, in
know.
some verses it says his feet were like bronze and his beard was white like wool.
Yeah,
So it's like,
Revelation 1 and 14. There's a guy up there. Revelation 1 and 14.
We received intel there's
Um,
valuable supplies in the
Daniel's
lab
10 and 5 and 7 and 9 talk about God's color.
but we disagree. I respectfully disagree with you on the faith and works. Like I believe my Jesus resurrecting from the dead, or whatever the Messiah resurrecting from the dead is like cleanse me of my sins, and I'm always gonna fall short. So my faith in Him is what saves me by grace and by His blood sacrifice, right? Um, and then so I'm a faith-based salvation, where you guys like you kind of like obedience and more works-based.
Right.
And I believe the Trinity. I believe the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. That Jesus is God in the flesh. That God manifested Himself. And as a white man, I'm telling you that it could have been like a man that was definitely like a darker skin this
See, the
time around.
reason
But
why we don't believe in the Trinity is because if
Back in the fight.
God came down to earth, now you're telling me that God was able to be killed, and I can't.
well, he allowed Himself to be killed. Isn't there a passage where He could have called 72,000 of His angels to come
Yeah,
save Him?
he could have.
When with Peter in the just Gethsemane or whatever, when the
Yeah,
Romans
yeah.
came to capture Him and Judas sold Him out and all that.
Somebody on top of this
But like,
building.
what if the is there a chance that the Israelites back then might not have been as like a darker skin yet through like evolution of like the sun?
I
Maybe
wouldn't.
they were probably darker skin, but maybe not like full on like like
I don't.
I guess the difference between somebody who's like Middle Eastern or like from or African. I don't because it's like yeah, or Egyptian. People
But
Egypt's part of
oh,
Africa, and
okay. I'm gonna. If you know anything about the Ottoman Turks conquered that land. So those weren't the original people. Them Arabics aren't even the original people in that land. Those were Ottoman Turks back from
yeah, it's
700.
original, just like what people look like, kind of like
Get to the safe zone.
like the culture, But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that land was conquered from 700 all the way up to 19. I think it was 12 when they finally got rid of they stopped the conquering because they already conquered that whole land. But that those guys are some of it now. Both groups of them are false. They, neither one of them belong in that land. Because you can still see some
What if we're all
pictures.
equal though? It's not all about. But I guess
Contact!
I don't know what it's like to be black though. So
I need
like
medical.
in a way, and it would possibly be the original Israelite. But like that'd be crazy. I wouldn't hold myself up to such a high pedestal to believe that I'm the original. I feel like there could be an Asian dude or a Hispanic dude or an
No,
Indian, so many
I'm
cultures of
actually
people that could be
Hispanic.
chosen by
Cradle
God.
bomb is being deployed.
I'm
Huh?
Hispanic,
Eyes
but
on
my
safe
great grandfather was a dark skinned man.
Yeah. And
So
I guess you've been
Intel reports
somebody like you
detonation of cradle
that
bombs
doctrine
in the
of the Hebrew.
Stay tight.
actually,
It'd be a Hebrew Israelite, right?
right. What happened was I was
Loading!
actually on my deathbed, right?
I'm
And
sorry, man. Glad you.
yeah, that's what got me into the Bible. I didn't believe in the Bible at one time. Then on my deathbed, I was, watching videos,
Good
and I was
research.
like, I was watching these guys on, like a video came up, and I was like, I used to see these guys back in Brooklyn on the streets. Let me watch this real quick. And I started listening. I'm like, hold up, that's the same stuff I go through. Same everything clicked. So I know I'm under those curses.
Moving.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I didn't believe in the Bible, and then I got woken up to it. But I'm
I
not
think when
saying
Jesus died and rose from the grave and fulfilled Moses' law, right, and we are under a new law where we're now under the New Testament, right, and I guess we don't have to sacrifice animals.
that's the only thing
Enter the blast zone to
he
obtain
got rid of
bioweapons.
was that the sacrificial law. That's the only thing
Yeah,
he
but
got
like
rid
look
of.
at all the paganism with Catholic and like Christians and and just like there's so much deception and evil, you know.
I agree.
So it's like it's not all about judging people, but like
Collapse is inbound.
making sure that they are saved through their faith in I believe Jesus, God coming down as a man and dying. It's the best way I could put it. And I guess
See,
I could be disrespecting God if that's not the case, and that God's just above and the Roman Empire made up the whole crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. But I don't believe, I don't think they did. You know, too
I
much
got you. I
evidence,
got
and
you. But
But I feel like this is a fruitful conversation.
I love
Where
it. And trust me, I got white friends. They know how I stand, what I stand. I can't
you
tell
do a
you
pretty
you're
good
gonna
job of
die.
listening.
I can't tell you you're gonna die or you got. That's not up to me. That's up to the Lord. But I know I follow what the book says, and that's all I could do.
The killed
Because
soldiers marked
the
for
Lord is
deployment.
gonna
Be
separate
prepared for
a Messiah.
resistance.
Jesus is gonna separate the tear. He's gonna get rid of who's wrong and who's right.
Yeah, and because the Vatican has all that evidence anyway, so it's like that's all. I believe the Vatican and all the Catholic churches like kind of is all evil. I'm sure an
I
Israelite
believe
would believe
that.
that too.
I believe that absolutely.
like when you look at the shroud of the turning or whatever, you know, it's like, and when I start thinking about what the apostles look like and what Jesus looks like, and like what God would look like in heaven, or like what heaven looks like, I get a
Hmm.
little intimidated, because then it's like, it's kind of like
Yeah,
scary,
but when
because
they say they don't know God's color, I think it's. Let me. I got my phone. I think it's Revelation 4:4. Talk about his skin color. Let me see. I'll pull it up right now. Revelation 4, and he said on the no, actually Revelation 3 and
Supply drops are being deployed
4
to the
verse
war zone.
3. It shows his color. So when people, they say, oh, they
is
don't.
that the bronze thing? The
No,
bronze
that's not
seed
the
or whatever?
bronze. No. Let me go back to it. This one is he that sat was looked upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. Now, if you go to those colors are brown.
I'm just saying, usually anything biblical like that, yeah, it's like a lot more complicated than just the word.
I go by the
You've got
word.
to
It's
collapse
I
the
it
have
area.
means
to.
a lot
Safe
more
zone
things,
Because
relocated.
I would never
or
add
like
to the scripture. I go
it's
by
like
what it says.
a lot more complicated in advance. That's why God spoke in parables, and words are like,
Yeah, it was only
at the
for
end of
the
the
true
day, I
people to
look at it like this.
understand it.
Only 10 left.
You know how in Genesis it says we're made in God's image, right? That's in
Right.
Genesis, right?
Hmm.
Like that's how I look at people. You know, like we're all kind of like flesh and bone, and then body, mind. What would it be? Our body, our mind, and our soul, or whatever. Our body, mind, and our
Right.
spirit.
Oh, they found. Nah, but yeah, I go by the scriptures.
This is Alex. I'm back.
Oh,
Oh,
somebody's back.
I got another light.
Yeah, I can't add to
Okay.
the scripture. I have to go by what what
Yeah,
was
or think of
written.
yourself. Think,
I'm a totally different Israelite than a lot. I go by what the book says. I know my doctrine's similar to theirs because I
well, that's
understand
pretty
all
much
of it.
what the Bible's all about. Is not relying on yourself and relying on
Right,
God. You
exactly.
know, I can get down with that. And yeah, I do a lot of gossiping, or like murmuring, or complaining, or I guess foreshadowing. Yeah, it's because of just
Trust me.
word.
When I'm around a lot of people don't like to. Like I got a guy in my lobby waiting for me. He hates when I talk about the Bible. That's all I do. If I gotta spread the gospel. It was given to me. I gotta spread it too. That's my job.
Good for you, bro. That's awesome. I would recommend not like white people, anybody. Damn,
Yeah.
that's good.
All right,
Like
man.
not be biased towards, but I mean,
It was good talking to you, man.
as Hebrew Israelites, it's like you guys kind of like, yeah, only look at like people with color, or like, you know.
That's up to the Lord to separate everybody. All right, man. Peace.
All right, peace. Yeah, you represented the Hebrew Israelites. Good.
You know, I thought he was in my lobby. Oh, headed home now.